I just did a radio interview in Winnipeg.
Not happy?
Hot. it's warm in that market, and I get it. I mean, it's
like
a
Paul?
strong. Yeah, just generally, right? Chevy, do something. You know, Paul Maurice, like, all this.
Well, if you're a Winnipeg fan, you'd be like, look, man, Byfuglien jammed us up here. You got rid of Trouba.
Well,
And Myers signed in Van. Go get a D.
They decided to leave. I mean, Winnipeg didn't have a choice with Trouba. He wanted out. You know, Myers was a free agent. You know, he
yeah, I get it. But
seized the opportunity.
You got to fix it and don't just say, oh, well, there's some whatever there. Go and get a guy.
I lay it all at Buff's feet.
Yeah, I do too.
How do you're a $7 million defenseman, $7 million. That would be Morgan
ultimate
Riley.
jam-up
That's
job.
Morgan Riley the day before the season going, I had 72 points last year. Not sure I want to play, guys. Sorry.
And he's got to be buddies with those guys still, does he not? Like,
are they texting? Like, are they texting him during the season?
Like,
he's watching them get rinsed last night.
No way Blake Wheeler is not saying something to Dustin Byfuglien. Like, make a decision.
Well, it gets
so
to
that
a point, Dregs, where the thing that you're saying is go to hell, man, and don't come back here. Because you've already jammed us up enough. If it gets to a point where we're missing, screw you and don't come back.
I don't know how.
I don't know how else can you think anything different.
I don't know how that
of it.
narrative goes down, but there are some nights where you're flat out missing 25 minutes on the back end from a guy who is probably one of the most unique players in the NHL.
For sure. No question.
Yeah, for sure.
Impact.
And a dominant, impact guy. When he's on his game, impact guy.
And they've just, like, he flat out drag bunted Chevy the day before the
From the snack part of the desk down to the post salad bar.
And that's 100% valid. But you know, fans are like, okay, we get it. That was 4 months ago.
Right.
Like, thank you. That's great. Like, it's the same thing in Toronto. You could easily make the case, like, you know, there's been injury problems and the coach is out and now you've got to make some adjustments. No one in Toronto cares about that.
No.
Either you get in or you don't.
Results.
If Winnipeg or Toronto miss by 1 point, it's a failed season.
Yeah.
And like a real big disaster.
Right.
So, you know, that's just the reality of the job, I guess.
It is. And what's interesting this year is that, you know, first half of the season, you know, you could pretty much pick a defenseman up for very little. Now, you're not getting a top four guy, but you'd get a third pairing guy. To be fair, you know, Buffalo still has a couple of guys, you know, available that might help. But you know, be it Winnipeg, be it Toronto, I mean, there's cap implications there and all that. Now it's flipping to the opposite. You know, you want a guy to play in your top four, top five, top six. You're going to pay for it because the market has shifted. You know, now all of a sudden you've got Carolina who had depth on their blue line, and Donnie Waddell is on line one going, I need help on my blue line, and look, I might have to give up my first-round draft pick to acquire that piece.
Well, you can float the Maple Leaf pick out there, I guess. I mean, that might help. Yeah. And that's an elephant in the room here in Toronto is that it's top 10 protected, but the Leafs likely are not going to completely fall off a cliff into the top 10. So you're probably handing over a first-round pick to Carolina just to get off the hook of Patrick Marleau's contract over the summer. So we got some news here.
Is it the Auston Matthews news?
Yeah, so the Leafs PR tweeting out that Leafs forward Auston Matthews will attend the upcoming NHL All-Star weekend in St. Louis, but will not be actively participating in any on-ice events. Matthews is listed as day-to-day as he receives acute treatment for an ongoing wrist condition.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be on the ice.
So why shouldn't he be granted to not go? Like, sorry, well, what does he got to do?
But is he missed the game in Nashville? I mean, I would assume that's what it comes down to.
No, not if there's an injury.
All right,
not
then
if
why?
There's an injury.
Yeah, I mean, I credit him for going.
Now he's got to go and grin screw people all over the place and sign autographs, and who wants to do that?
I mean, I'll find out, but that could be the condition for it too, right? Is okay, you won't have to sit this game, but you've got to attend this because there's some fan functions and sponsor things and everything else.
I could see that.
You know, Matthews aside. So you had Tuukka Rask who informed the league he wasn't going, and then he got hurt after the fact. But he would have had to sit out a game. Obviously, the Ovechkin thing, it's the same thing every year, and it's not a burning issue. But I do think that the NHL will talk about it after the fact. So they're either going to revamp All-Star Weekend entirely. Maybe they inject some sort of international competition to
get rid of the 3-on-3 and make it 5-on-5, and the winner, the MVP, gets $1 million.
I read the other day, like, Kreider's going in for Panarin.
Yeah,
because Panarin's
hurt.
up.
Yeah, he's
but
hurt.
but that's the thing, like, Are you banged up to the point where you're out of games, or are you banged up to like, hey, I've got some nagging injuries?
Or the Rangers saying, you are too good for us right now. We don't want you touching your equipment until you come back.
Well, in fairness to him, he does have something, and I'm told that whatever it was that was nagging in Columbus, it's something that's longer term. It's not overly serious. But he had agreed to go. Panarin, that is. He was taking his dog. There was going to be some red carpet event with Panarin and his dog. So the Rangers may have stepped in and said, look, man, you've got this lingering issue. We need you to back off. But the league will talk about it in a postmortem to say, look, if we're continuing to have this type of event, maybe one game isn't enough. Or maybe we have to do something that's more punitive away from a game. Maybe the club gets fined. I don't know. But to O-Dog's point, you put $1 million on the line, is that enough to get Ovechkin to go to St. Louis?
Well, he's got $100 million in the bank. Maybe not him, but if you're talking about everybody,
but it has to be everybody. It can't and I understand. I'm on that side of Ovechkin's done enough for the All-Star and he's done enough for the National Hockey League, but that doesn't sell anymore with the younger guys because the younger guys are going, I don't care what he's done.
What they got to do is figure out maybe it's the destination. Nobody wanted to really go to the award ceremony, but guess what they did?
Yeah, I moved it to Vegas.
And guess where everybody wants to go for the awards? Yeah. They want to go to Vegas and hang out for a couple of days. So do you got to forget about everyone getting their own All-Star game and say, there's a rink in Bahamas. That's where the All-Star game is. I don't know.
Nashville.
It's in Nashville every year. And the league teams will go nuts, won't they?
That's the problem. Owners will be like, no. Like, I want my piece of the puzzle.
It's a money-making venture for that local market, for sure.
Right. You sell tickets to a game that only you have. It's exclusively yours.
Is the Pro Bowl in Hawaii every year?
They've moved it around. It's been in Hawaii. It's been down in Florida.
Right.
But yeah, it's in Hawaii. Historically, it's always been in Hawaii.
Something like that. But
did you see who's replacing Matthews?
Yeah, Brady.
Kachuk, he'll be
Which,
sour.
I mean, is right there.
I know, but he trust me. I mean, he was fine with watching Matthew and enjoying having a couple of pops.
Now he's got to work. Listen,
but what's up with this Matthews injury? I never heard of anything.
I don't think it's an injury. I think that's an excuse.
Okay, it might be, but
you're
saying that Maple Leafs PR went out and fabricated a wrist condition.
No, I'm not calling them liars. I'm saying I'm sure he has something that's nagging,
but it's not significant.
I'm just saying that's a very convenient way to be like, you know what, go shake some hands, but we're going to keep you off the ice.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you do that with Freddie Anderson? Come up with something for Freddie.
Well, yeah, to not have to face have the John Gibson treatment where you give up 7 and 3-on-3.
Like, isn't he it's cool for him. He's never been there. I don't believe he's been there before.
You've never been. You want to go.
I hear that, and he's going to be, he'll be a pro and he'll go out there, and he's not going to get injured or anything. You knock on wood, but that's the last guy you want at the All-Star game. The last guy you want.
Yeah, you never want to come up with anything coming out of it. That's why I like I say, I'm not challenging Leaf PR. I'm just saying it's.
He's going to play Monday night.
If a guy's nicked up, you want him resting. You don't want him having to, have some form of duress on the body.
He'll be playing in Nashville on Monday
100%. That's what the focus is, unfortunately.
As it should be, especially considering where the Leafs are right now. Right? If they were 20 points into a playoff spot, then maybe you fight through something or whatever, but you're not going to do that now.
The women's game is going to be the most competitive aspect of the All-Star this weekend on Friday.
Yeah, they love showing what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, the All-Star game, I don't know. I don't know what they can do.
Noodles is going to have a great time.
I'm going to have
Noodles
a great time.
have a good
going
time.
to a couple of old
I'm not
haunts.
going to either. I think they're at a point. I don't know what they can do to get the guys to want to do it. And the reason I hate it is because the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball, their guys love being around the All-Star game. Even the guys that aren't in it, they like to be around it, be at the functions, be at the parties. And every one of the hockey guys, it seems like I'll do anything. Dylan Larkin, who I think is a great player, but begged not to be picked.
And then apologized profusely after.
Yeah, but you told us what you really think.
Yeah.
But it's like I would wish guys didn't say that.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off when I went once, and Mario said no. Matt Sundin said no. I think Cujo said no, and I'm like, I wanted to kind of meet these guys, hang out with them, say I'm on their team. No. Tom Pody goes. Shatan from Buffalo.
Wow.
It's a different world, though, now, is it not? Like, back in that day, regardless of who's there, you're going out. You're going to the CCM room or whatever.
Yeah,
you're getting all your swag and all of that stuff. But you're going for beers, wine, having nice dinners. Now, 2/3 of the players there are probably in their rooms playing friggin' Fortnite.
Not my buddies.
But they can't.
Well, no, but it's a different era.
Or if they wanted to,
they said
can't.
they were putting all of their Bud Lights on my bill. When I checked out, the paper started going over and over like this. And I was like, how many are on there? She's like, you got a lot of beers here to pay for. Every one of my buddies, all of their beers on my bill.
Like how many? Like
I don't know.
200?
However many beers adds up to like $4,500 checkout bill. That's 3 or 4 days and every drink on a bill.
That's like 1,000 beers.
No, not
No.
Unfortunately, these hotels, they rinse you for everything,
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
Like
a
my
beer
buddies
is
would have
$8.
25 Bud Lights a day.
Well, that's what I'm
for
saying.
fun.
If you have 4 or 5 guys for like a 3-day,
Yeah, you're right. That's a
it
good
can
couple
add up
hundred
pretty
beer
quickly.
easily.
A few hundred
Folding
anyway.
over, scrolling over onto the floor.
Yeah. Anyway,
Bet a few of your buddies. 25 might be light.
That's true.
You got that right.